What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 10 episode 12. Thank God next week is the season finale. The only reason why I'm still reviewing this show is just to finish out the season. I'm just trying to stick with it. You know, it is what it is. But listen, this review gonna be down and dirty, okay? So we start off the episode. We have Yandy. She is getting ready for her grand opening of her Yale storefront. For those who follow Yandy or you're familiar, she's had this natural skincare organic product, whatever, and she's been selling it mainly online. But you know, one of the things with her moving to Atlanta is that she wanted to open up an actual, you know, storefront, and so she's getting ready for the grand opening. Jock and Frost come by. And Deese's is already there, and they get to talking to Jock. Jock is letting them know about how everything went down with his son and how he put his hands on his son and everything. And they just sort of having a male powwow type situation where they're just giving him some advice. You know, of course, nobody likes to, you know, Jock's not happy about it. He doesn't want to be at a point where he's putting his hands on his son. But at the end of the day, he's frustrated. He doesn't really know how else to get through to him. And, you know, they're saying, listen, maybe I need to sit down with some professional help, yada, yada, yada. Later on in the episode, that's exactly what happens. Jock with Kendra. Glad to see the two of them are still together. They still rocking out. I guess they're going to get married one day. We don't know. We see a professional mediator. We see his son. And we see the mom there again. And what I can appreciate is that the mom wasn't there like ready to take Jock's head off. She said, listen, I agree 100% with what he is saying. Like, you need to understand, it's not, you know, I don't appreciate his methods. Like, I ain't like him putting his hands on you. But I absolutely understand why he felt the way he felt. And I understand what he's trying to get you to understand. And, you know, at the end of the day, you are rocking with people that just ain't good for you. And then you see what ended up happening. And Jock ended up telling him the story about, you know, the police mistaking him for his brother and putting a gun in his head. And he said, listen, I have friends whose kids ain't here. Like, I have friends whose sons have been murdered. I'm not trying to be a part of that crew. And yes, he said, I love you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. And I never want to put my hands on you. And I'm not proud of that. Like, that's just not something I ever wanted to do. He said, but I really need you to hear me. I need you to understand. And the son did apologize, you know, and he told him he loved him too. And so hopefully they are laying that foundation, and they're able to build on it and move forward. Cool. Erica went to go see a divorce attorney. I don't care. She went to go see a divorce attorney. She's telling him the same thing she's been telling us. And she said, well, Safari wants 50% custody. He explained to her what that exactly looks like and what they would probably end up negotiating for. We see that down to the Frost Bistro, they still having problems. Somebody's stealing food now, child. They frustrated, they over it. They end up having a meeting at the end of the episode. They want to know who's stealing the food. What's going on? Who is stealing the food? Well, come to find out, the person stealing the food is Casey, one of their son's girlfriends. She's stealing the food. They end up talking to the manager, and they tell the manager, listen, we need you to crack down. We don't care if they are kids or not, our kids' spouses or not. We don't care how long we known them. We don't care what they, like, I don't care. 3 strikes, you're out. Write them up. If they late for work, write them up. If they insubordinate, write them up. If they fighting, talking to each other crazy, write them up. After 3 write-ups, they got to go. I don't care who they are. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it, and I'm over it. I said, well, okay. Listen, you just can't do everything for everybody. Like, I understand we want to keep the money in the family. And I understand all the reasons why they do it. But at the end of the day, guess what you can't do? You can't help everybody. Okay? I mean, I feel like Casey should have been fired on the spot. Like, the minute she admitted she stole the food, I feel like she should have been fired. But, well, actually, I don't think she ever admitted she stole the food. I think they just snitched. And she tried to explain herself. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So then we also find out that Scrap put this cryptic post on social media about depression and suicide. And it sort of has everybody a little worried about Scrap. You know, the guy, you know, he says something about men do kill themselves. Men do hurt. Men do this, men do that. And, you know, he feeling some kind of way. He in his feelings. And what we find out is after he talked to Mama D, he didn't even go back home. He let that conversation get in his head. He felt some kind of way about it. And On top of that, you know, he said he out there getting the bag. He doing shows and he traveling. But now it's at the point where Bambi won't let him talk to his kids. Now let me say this. I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't know how much of this is for is real and how much of this is for the show. But let me say this, women, y'all gotta stop doing that shit. Y'all have got to stop doing that shit. Y'all's kids didn't choose y'all. Y'all chose them. They ain't got nothing to do with y'all's adult business. If the daddy is calling to talk to his kids, let him talk to his damn kids. You ain't got to talk to him. You ain't got to like them. You ain't even got to love them. But at the end of the day, those are his kids. Y'all are still legally married at this point. If he calling and he want to say hi to his kids, let him talk to his kids. That's disrespectful, and I think it's out of pocket. I have a problem with women, and men do it, but we know women do it more than men, who use their kids as weapons. I get it that there's a lot of men out here that ain't shit, that ain't taking care of their kids, and that they ain't want to be a part of their children's life. But when you find one that is trying to be a part of his child's life, guess what? Let them. Let them. Anyway. So Kurt and Mendices end up reaching out to Scrap to try to get his point of view, and he tells them what's going on. He tells them how things have been, and you know, he talked to Mama D and what Mama D said and how he felt and how he ain't been in the house and how him and Bambi ain't really been talking, and how Bambi won't let him talk to his kids. And he said, you know, sometimes you just feel some kind of way. You just get in your head, you get into a dark place. So they have a powwow and they let them know, listen, we always here. If you need us, call us. I'm only a phone call away. I don't like reading that type of shit online. I just need to check on you, and I need to put my hands on my brother. You know, it was a good moment. I think it's important to understand that, yes, men absolutely deal with depression, and I think that it's important to understand that they don't always deal with it the same way that women do. They keep a lot of it, you know, inside. Okay. Then we see Yandy meet up with Erica. Lord, Erica again is telling Yandy about how horrible of a husband Safari is and what he's done and why would he do that and all of this and all of that. She tells Yandy, listen, I hired a private eye and he is cheating on me. I got the proof. Now, later on in the episode, Yandy confronts Safari about it, and I'm waiting for Safari to be like, she wrong, she misunderstood, she tripping, I ain't cheat on her. He was like, listen, we ain't together. Yandy was like, y'all are married. Well, I'm just saying, we ain't together. I ain't gonna be living like a saint. If, you know, whatever happens, while we... So you cheated on her. Then he said, well, it was a one-night thing. I don't give a fuck if it's 1 night, 2 nights, 10 nights. You cheated on her. You cheated on your pregnant wife. I ain't saying who's right or who's wrong. I'm just saying whatever, child. Whatever. So, Yandy, of course, is there, you know, for a shoulder for Erica to cry on, yada, yada, yada. So then we see Bambi meet up with Sierra. Sierra lets Bambi know the conversation she had with Mama D. Of course, Sierra's version of the story goes a little bit different. She made it seem like Mama D came up to her and what she said. Now, granted, she did not say what Mama D said she said. She did not say nothing about Bambi said she gonna take Scrap for everything she owned and all of that. She didn't say none of that. So that's an exaggeration. She gonna take his kids. She didn't say that either. That's an exaggeration. But at the same time, she did let Bambi know. So Bambi kind of is on alert, knowing that Mama D is going to be Mama D, and Mama D is on her bag. They did talk about Scrappy and his online comments, and Bambi was like, listen. I mean, I hope he gets some help. I feel like that's how Bambi was. Anyway. Then we have Yandy's grand opening, and of course everybody's there. The crew is all there. She got some Atlanta people there. She brought some New York people there. Jonathan came down. I saw Miss Juicy Baby in the crowd. And she had the grand opening, and at the grand opening, that's when she confronted Safari. Safari admitted to cheating on Erica, and Yandy was like, listen, you need to get it together. Like, that's not okay. Like, I get it that it takes two to tango, but at the end of the day, you know, your wife is pregnant, and you got to do better, okay? Then we see Mama D confront, but, you know, we see everybody talk to Jock, you know, let Jock know, listen, you know, how's everything going? Did you talk to your son? He was like, yeah, talk to him. This is what happened. Then we see Mama D go and confront Bambi. Now, Bambi wasn't really trying to have no parts of Mama D because she already know Mama D was going to be on the shits, okay? But Mama D came over and Mama D starts doing what Mama D does best, talking about, you ain't going to take my son for everything he got. Bambi was like, okay, exactly what is that? Because he don't have nothing. What he got? I just want to be clear. And you talking about taking his kids, she said, ain't nobody ever say nothing about that. Sierra told me when we was in Dubai, no, Sierra never said nothing about you taking the kids. I mean, I did talk about divorce, but I never said nothing about taking the kids, okay? So, Mama D, you know, again, did what she does best. She threw a whole tantrum. They got loud. She got the cussing, talking about we got lawyers, and we, you know, we can afford lawyers too. Bambi was like, you can't afford more lawyers than I can afford. I said, ooh. Ooh. Child, that's pretty much the episode. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.